Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your Oakland community advocate. Well, winter's temperatures have definitely been touching the Bay Area. It's been dipping into the upper low, kind of the mid and upper 30s for the most part. And this week it's hovering right in the low 40s. This morning was 41 degrees. So definitely a chilly night if you were trying to avoid the cold. And a lot of people are saying, well, I don't know how I'm going to get through this winter. Heating, running the heater is really expensive. And you're absolutely right. Natural gas is up, electricity is very expensive, and then you're running it for extended periods because the sun goes down earlier. Before, when we were on daylight time, we had more sunlight, and now that we're in standard time, and we have much fewer hours, and here we are, we're approaching excuse me, we are approaching the winter solstice, which is December 21st. That is the longest night and the shortest day, and that's occurs on December 21st of each calendar year, typically, or right around it. If it's not the 21st, it's the 22nd, and that could be usually caused by a leap year included. So, but anyway, the winter solstice, that is the longest night, typically north of 12, but usually just short of 15 hours of darkness. So yeah, it can get really cold. So anyway, here's a tip. Going back from a lot of years of experiences, even when I was much younger, back then, the newest invention that had just come out, which was in the 70s, because this is when I first went out and bought one, and they were much more expensive. See that? A heated blanket. You plug these into the wall through the night, and this particular blanket right here uses 100 watts of energy through the night. So you're talking 100-watt light bulb at best, and that's if you're running it on high. If you're running it much lower, where I do, it's much more economical. But anyway, here's the thing. I had one of these similar to this, but a different brand, and I in my early days of being homeless, I had access to electricity, round-the-clock electricity, while I was mending up from my cancer surgery, and I was in recovery. So business sent me, or gave me, an extension cord and power 24/7. And so this was an electric blanket, or actually an electric mattress pad, is what kept me warm through the winter months. And there were days, or I should say nights, that the temperature in the peak of winter dropped to 26 degrees out here in Oakland. No snow, but it was very cold, very icy. That year, actually for 2 years, we had 3 deaths because of cold issues. And that started at 38 degrees Fahrenheit. And death started occurring. And then we saw more deaths as the temperatures dropped. And here in Oakland, right here in the Oakland Coliseum area, those years it had typically peaked out at the lowest at 26 degrees, and many mornings right at freezing point. So these kept me alive. And because I had it on the pad, I slept on it, so it kept my body warm. And then what I did, I layered on top of that. And so I had a cover sheet, and then 2 layers of blankets, and then back then a local hotel was replacing all of their down comforters. And so my camp had received a load of really nice down comforters, and so that trapped the heat inside of the bed. And so it pre-warmed the bed. You turn it on before, let's say about 30 minutes before you want to go to bed. Let it warm up on high, and then just before you get into bed, you turn it back to warm, and then see what works best for you over the next few nights. And believe me, you do sleep very, very soundly because the heat is very gentle. You don't want really hot heat. And the one thing that I always tell folks, don't do both. That's a bad idea. You do one or the other. Do the mattress pad, electric mattress pad heater, and that's the one that I really loved. But there are folks that their body may be really sensitive to the wiring that threads around the mattress pad. So and I said, try that and put 2 layers of sheets on top and see how it works. And usually that has worked out pretty well. If not, if they're still pretty sensitive to it, then they can send it back and go with a typical heated blanket like this. This is a heated blanket, and 100 watts. So 100 watts is very efficient. That's up on maximum setting, and so it's always running. When you have it on warm, it clicks in and out, and it's very comfortable. The heat is much more mild, and it's not overwhelming. And then if the evening gets cold, so even if your house gets really cold inside, a blanket like this or a mattress pad, a heating pad, can make a significant difference to your energy savings on your PG&E bill. And to run one of these is pennies a night. That back when I first started using these in the 70s, energy was very, very expensive because of OPEC. And then also going into the 80s, there was a lot of recession and a lot of issues going on. Plus, I was living on my own. So I was looking for a way to not run the heater, because the heater, when I turned it on, all I heard was cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Because when I went into my very first home, the disastrous first home purchase back in 1983, my PG&E bill, after only 23 days, I received the first bill, and it was north of $480, just short of $500 for 23 days. And that was back in 1983. It was a shocker, and it was the summer, and we were running the air conditioning in the home and then turning it off before we went to work. And so, but yeah, after that eye-opener, we didn't make that mistake again. And in the winter, it was no different. It was cold. That house was an older home, so the insulation wasn't there. And so the cold just from the outside just sucked the heat right out of the house. And so we had some of these, but the thing that we had back then that no longer exists was a water bed. waterbed was heated. And then the interesting thing was the heating element for the waterbed was even more economical than this. And we literally slept on warm water. And so it was very calming, and you got a good night's sleep. That's why I say I love the electric mattress pad more so than this. But here I don't have a mattress, and so the mattress pad is out, and so plugging this in, throwing it on top of me, works out really well. And I have another one, and I ordered it inadvertently the wrong size, and so rather than send it back, I'm just going to keep it. And what I'll do, this will be a nice little base pad for Mama to lay on here in the area for the cold nights. Because even though we have heating here, the slab floor, it is drawing heat out, and so having that layer to insulate from what we're sleeping on, and then having the electric blanket will keep her significantly warmer and able to sleep more comfortably. And I'll have this new blanket for me, and so I'll be able to sleep much better. So these are just tips that can save you hundreds over the course of the winter. And this blanket, just to let you know, this was on sale. It was $35, $30 to $37. So very inexpensive, and this is a twin size, and prices go up obviously as the size of your bed increases, and so typically I slept on a queen size bed when I had normal bed, and those expect a mattress pad, electric mattress pad. Even back then, a good one, I was using a good one, and it was about $150 if I remember right, and then a two-sided divided heating blanket, so you had controls for both occupants of the queen size bed, so that they can heat their zone to what they're comfortable with, and then I can have my zone for the temperature that I'm comfortable with. And those can run up to about $200, $250, and for a good one. And I really encourage you, if you get them, do use them. They work really well. Takes a little bit of adjustment to get your mind in that frame, because some people have some issues with electricity, all around their body. They think there's radio waves and stuff. Well, nah, it doesn't work that way. It's not working on radio waves, and it does not create radio waves. So anyway, these are money-saving tips that are very efficient, and blankets like this and electric mattress pads, they sell out in the winter. So now's the time to get them, because a lot of people are looking for them. I just got mine, so stay warm, folks. It's going to be a long winter. We're going to be dipping into some really cold weather here, and then this weekend is going to be very, very wet. So I'm going to stay warm indoors. Thanks for joining me. We'll be right back.